Hey, welcome to World Scope Updates. Subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for more updates. Picture this. It's the 16th century. You're a merchant. You've got a hankering for some lovely Asian spices, or perhaps some silk. The problem? Asia is over there, and you, my friend, are way over here in Europe. This was, to put it mildly, a logistical pain in the backside. Getting from A to B when B was on the other side of the world was a monumental undertaking. It wasn't like you could just hop on a budget airline, could you? No, you had to commit. Seriously commit to a long, arduous journey. Your travel options were not exactly appealing. You could try the overland route, yes, the famous Silk Road. Less romantic when you factor in the deserts, mountains, and bandits. Or you could go by sea, all the way around Africa, past the Cape of Good Hope, which often wasn't very hopeful at all. Or, if you were feeling particularly adventurous or perhaps suicidal, you could try sailing around South America. Magellan did it. It took him ages, and spoiler alert, he didn't personally make it all the way back home. Let's be honest, ships back then were not exactly cruise liners. They were small, wooden, and leaked. Navigation involved staring at the stars and hoping for the best. And disease? Oh, scurvy was a barrel of laughs turning your gums to mush. Sailors died, a lot of them. Storms sank ships. Cargo was lost. It was incredibly dangerous, incredibly slow, and incredibly expensive. So, the idea of a shortcut, a magical waterway slicing through the narrow bit of Central America, wasn't just a whimsical fantasy. It was an economic imperative, a desperate centuries-old dream, which is why, eventually, someone was bound to try and build one. So eventually they did it. They built a canal, the Panama Canal. What a saga that was. The French tried first under Ferdinand de Lesseps, the chap who gave us the Suez Canal. He thought Panama would be a tropical walk in the park. Spoilers, it wasn't. The French effort was, to be blunt, a disaster. They were defeated by the jungle, by the mud, by the sheer difficulty of the terrain. And of course, by disease. Thousands and thousands of workers perished. It was a tragic, expensive failure. Then came the Americans. Around the turn of the 20th century, they weren't messing about. They learned from French mistakes. They also, and this is a crucial bit, engineered Panama's independence from Colombia because, geopolitics. With Panama secured, they threw everything they had at it, money, manpower, machinery, and critically, they waged war on the mosquitoes. Dr. William Gorgas figured out that yellow fever and malaria were spread by these buzzing little vampires. Tackling them was key. The construction itself was an engineering marvel, and a human meat grinder. They had to cut through mountains, the infamous Culebra cut. Landslides were constant, it was hot, humid, and brutal. Workers, many from the Caribbean, faced horrific conditions and died in droves. But against all odds, they finished it. The Panama Canal officially opened in August 1914. Suddenly, ships didn't have to go all the way around South America, New York to San Francisco, thousands of nautical miles shorter. Global trade was revolutionized. It was a triumph of engineering and a testament to human endurance. Now, let's talk about the other big canal idea in the neighborhood, the Nicaragua Canal. This isn't some brand new, out-of-the-blue concept. Oh no. In fact, back in the 19th century, Nicaragua was actually the preferred route for an American-built canal. It has a massive lake, Lake Nicaragua, which looked like a handy pre-dug section. Panama, believe it or not, was Plan B. A stamp featuring a Nicaraguan volcano erupting supposedly helped sway U.S. opinion towards Panama. Yes, really. Fallately changing geopolitical history. What a world. But the dream of a Nicaraguan canal never truly died. It just took a long nap. And now, it's back, with a vengeance. And a price tag that will make your eyes water. We're talking $50 billion, that's billion, with a B. For context, the Panama Canal expansion, completed in 2016, cost around $5.25 billion. This Nicaraguan proposal is on another scale entirely. It's planned to be about 3 times longer than the Panama Canal, wider, deeper, capable of handling the very largest ships on the planet. It's an audacious plan. The driving force behind this colossal undertaking? A Hong Kong-based company called the Hong Kong Nicaragua Canal Development Investment Company, or HKND Group for short. Because that first name is a mouthful. It's the kind of project that makes engineers drool and economists scratch their heads. Or depending on your level of cynicism, it could be a fantastically expensive folly. Right, let's address the elephant, or perhaps the dragon, in the room. China. HKND, the company behind the Nicaragua Canal proposal, is based in Hong Kong. Its chairman, Wang Jing, is a Chinese national. He insisted repeatedly that this was a purely private commercial venture, that the Chinese government had nothing to do with it. And if you believe that, I have a lovely bridge in Brooklyn I'd like to sell you. It's a very nice bridge. Gently used. One owner. You'll love it. China, as you might have noticed, has a bit of a thing for massive infrastructure projects, especially projects that happen to align perfectly with its expanding global influence. They're building ports, railways and roads all over the world under their Belt and Road Initiative. A transoceanic canal in Central America, capable of handling Chinese megaships and bypassing the American-influenced Panama Canal? Well, that sounds like it would fit rather snugly into their strategic playbook, doesn't it? It's almost too perfect. Like a geopolitical jigsaw piece clicking into place. Think about the strategic implications. A canal largely financed and potentially controlled by Chinese interests, right in what the United States has historically considered its backyard. That's a bold move. It would give China significant leverage in global trade. It would project Chinese power deep into the Western Hemisphere. It would be a constant reminder that the old world order, where Uncle Sam called all the shots in this region, is, shall we say, evolving. Nicaragua's jackpot dream, riches or ruin. For Nicaragua, this canal project sounds like a lottery win. Nicaragua is one of the poorest countries in the Western Hemisphere. A $50 billion investment promises jobs and prosperity. President Ortega has been the canal's biggest cheerleader. He pushed through the legislation granting the HKND Group a 50-year concession. Critics argue the deal favors foreign investors over Nicaraguans. The dream is tantalizing, but there's a flip side. The green scar, sacrificing paradise for progress? Now let's talk about the environment, because surprise surprise, digging a 170-mile-long, 500-meter-wide trench through a country tends to have an impact. A rather large impact. And in Nicaragua, the centerpiece of this environmental concern is Lake Nicaragua, also known as Lake Cochabolca. It's the largest freshwater lake in Central America. It's a vital source of drinking water for many Nicaraguans. It's home to unique species, including freshwater sharks. Yes, freshwater sharks. How cool is that? Or how cool was that, potentially? The proposed canal route slices right through Lake Nicaragua. This involves massive dredging operations to make it deep enough and wide enough for colossal container ships. Scientists have raised serious alarms about the potential consequences. Dredging stirs up sediment, which can kill aquatic life and harm water quality. There's the risk of saltwater intrusion from the Pacific and Caribbean locks, which could contaminate this massive freshwater reserve. The human cost progress paved with displaced lives. Beyond the ecological concerns, there's the human cost, and it's significant. Building a canal of this magnitude isn't like putting up a garden shed. It requires a vast corridor of land. And guess what? People live on that land. Tens of thousands of them, according to various estimates. Farmers, smallholders, indigenous communities, people whose families have tilled that soil, fished those waters, and called those places home for generations. Geopolitical poker, a canal changes everything again. Make no mistake, if this Nicaraguan canal ever gets built, it won't just be a big ditch in Central America. It will be a geopolitical earthquake. It will redraw maps not just of shipping lanes but of global influence. The Panama Canal did that a century ago, cementing American power in the region. A new, potentially Chinese-influenced canal just a few hundred miles away, that changes the game entirely. It's like adding a new, very powerful queen to the global chessboard. The United States is, naturally, watching this development with keen interest, and probably a fair bit of anxiety. For over a century, the U.S. has considered Central America and the Caribbean its strategic backyard. The Monroe Doctrine, anyone? A major infrastructure project in this region, backed by a strategic rival like China, capable of altering global trade flows and potentially hosting naval vessels? That's not something Washington takes lightly. It directly challenges long-held American dominance and security assumptions. It's a strategic headache, to say the least. Beyond the U.S. China dynamic, the canal would have profound implications for the entire Latin American region. It could create new economic opportunities but also new dependencies. It could shift alliances. It could become a focal point for competition between global powers. The Grand Canal gamble, visionary, costly, or just crazy? So here we are in 2025 looking at the grand vision of the Nicaragua Canal. Is it a stroke of genius? A visionary project that will unlock untold prosperity and reshape global trade for the better? Or is it a monumentally expensive, environmentally destructive, socially disruptive folly? A white elephant of epic proportions? The truth is, nobody really knows for sure. The project has been largely stalled for years, plagued by doubts about its funding, its feasibility, and its ultimate purpose. It's a dream that refuses to die, but also struggles to be born. The financial viability is one of the biggest question marks. $50 billion is an almost unimaginable sum of money. Where precisely is it all supposed to come from? Wang Jing's personal fortune took a massive hit in the Chinese stock market crash of 2015 to 16. Will there be enough shipping traffic to justify such an enormous investment, especially with an expanded Panama Canal already in operation? Can it charge tolls that are competitive yet profitable? These are not trivial questions. They are fundamental to whether this project ever floats, financially speaking. Then you have the sheer audacity of the engineering. Digging a canal 3 times longer than Panama's, through challenging terrain, including crossing a massive lake, is an immense undertaking. The environmental risks, as we've discussed, are terrifying. The potential for social upheaval and human rights concerns is profound. It's a project that seems to carry an almost unprecedented concentration of risks, financial, technical, ecological, and social. It's a veritable minefield of things that could go catastrophically wrong